Yo ho hoi, yo ho hoi, yo ho hoi hoi.
Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about Zenkaiger, and I have to admit, this episode, how do I say? But before we begin, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop, and let's begin. So basically this entire episode, but I think it just goes around how, like, say, Durin doesn't like Kaiser, and it's mainly because when him and Majin are walking, because this episode I think is mainly focused around them, is when they're walking towards like going home, they finish shopping, they meet these kids, and the kids are like, oh my god, like, you're the Zenkaigers, can we have Kaiser's autograph? But I think Durin doesn't understand it, and he's like, oh no, I'll sign this for you, and I was just like, okay, this is, I can understand, and I think he wanted to kind of have that autographness and like kind of be famous, but the kids don't want it. But the main monster, because this is when like Durin starts complaining with Majin, and Majin is about like drops all these these potatoes and fruit and stuff like that. But the monster is from Snail World or Slow World. It's either one. It doesn't really say until like kind of much later. But he has this ability to slow down time, which I think is a cool ability. As I said, every single bad guy in this is able to like have a cool, unique power. Just absorb all these powers and you'd be unstoppable. There'd be nothing that you can't do in this. The entire episode is trying to figure out how to get Majin, Kaiser, and Durin out of the this slow zone, as well as all the other people. Now, one good thing is about this is Kaiser, I think he kind of learned like not to kind of fall like the others. Like, he jumps in straight away. So when he enters the first battle, he actually like shoots down. He's about to attack, but because he enters the barrier of time, or the slowness, he slows down, and the monster hits him with missiles, which then causes him to demorph, and everything is slowed down. Now, with the voices of the Kikinoids, I could understand, because obviously you can't see the mouths. But later on, you start seeing this, like with Kaiser with Vox, is he tries to kind of move about, but his mouth won't move, but he continues speaking, and it felt very kind of weird. I think if I was to redo this, I would have had him morphed, so at least he could talk about it. But he uses a really cool thing I liked, is his kind of, it's like a shield, but also an attack. We saw it previously in the episode where it hits, and then he can like use it to kind of deflect or attack people. And I thought this was kind of cool, because as you see him kind of like start moving and stuff, he actually does it, so it looks like he's actually kind of, how do you say, he's kind of doing it, so it's like preempting the attacks, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's something that I generally thought was really cool, and something that you would kind of go, right, we need to do this. But one thing is, like, when looking back at the footage as it's playing right now, I love the fact that obviously they've kind of like shot it in a few different areas and kind of mixed the footage, because even though that Majin, Durin, and Kaiser are moving, everyone else isn't. So I'm guessing that they slowed down the footage, stopped it, so that they could easily like manipulate it later on in After Effects and stuff. The episode is not bad, don't get me wrong. I'm just getting, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a bit bored of it already, and I know it's only episode 12, which again is kind of a bit type thing. Now, I'm not happy, but again, I'm hoping for progression. I really kind of want to keep watching it and stuff like that. So one of the good things is, and I'm so glad that we've got this, is that Kaiser joins them. So when they use the Turbo Ranger gears, not Power Rangers Turbo, but they use the Turbo gears, they're able to speed up. And I thought this was great. And it also shows, this is the first time that we've been able to see it, is that the gears work on normal people. So you don't have to be morphed, because Kaito, when he uses it, he shoots it towards Vox, Durin, and Majin, and obviously they're not morphed. But then he uses it again on all the other people around, which I think was a great kind of way of saying, hey, get out of here. You all, you can all like move out and stuff like that, which I think it's something that I would like to see a little bit more. It means that you can obviously bestow powers for a short amount of time, or maybe they have the powers for the rest of the time, so when they've got out of the time field they can rush around and do whatever, or maybe they're not susceptible to time power anymore, which I think is cool. Now, Zenkaiger joins them, and we get the music that kicks in. So rather than say, rather than like just the normal kind of battle music, you get the intro music, which thus means that he has joined the team either temporarily or full time, and he's going straight for it. One also thing I noticed in this is when the Snail monster, and this is a really bad thing, like you kind of think that his power wouldn't affect bad guys or his teammates, but the Snail monster uses the power one more time to slow down time, but Zenkaiger and Kaito use the Turbo Rangers again, but because there probably wasn't a 6 Ranger team, when they use it, you get the main team using having 5 Turbo Rangers, and then straight away you get another blue one for Zenkaiger, and I had to look back at that one because I was like, that doesn't make sense. That's a bit weird. So I looked back at it and went, no, that's actually the 2 Turbo Blue Rangers. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved what they did, because I felt like that to me was, I don't know, I wouldn't say out of the thinking box, but I generally kind of really thought, you know what, that was brilliant. I just loved it. So we get the kind of battle, like the Megazord fights or the mecha fights, which to me wasn't bad. I just feel like it felt like in the last preview that Stacy's Zord was going to be the main like attraction for this. Like, you know, the monster gets destroyed and Stacy is going to be the main person to kind of fight as well as do that stuff. That's what I generally kind of thought on this one. But no, Stacy's thing's in it for like maybe 5 minutes. But we do get the premiere of Zenkaiger's main Megazord, which is the Shinken mode, which I thought was okay. But that was about it. It did remind me of Samurai. I did like the water effect that they put in. It kind of reminded me of the old Japanese films, which wasn't that bad, to be fair. I don't know what I would like to have seen. I would have liked to have seen maybe the second one, but I think I would have much preferred to have I would have much preferred to have like Stacy's Megazord there, because I just felt like it was a waste. I felt like you had this build up and it just wasn't there. So yeah, that's my kind of take on it. I really thought Kaito, like earlier when he's with Flint and the others, that they were kind of like making pancakes or crepes, and I thought this is when like Kaito's going to go like, oh, he's so cute, and she's going to be like, what, stop it, and just therefore like the kind of relationship like blooms with them on this one. Now the Megazord fight, going back to it, it was kind of interesting to see the sword and claw of the Jurin as well as Gaion like actually get destroyed because of the snail's head type thing. I thought that was a kind of ingenious thing. I thought maybe we would have seen Zenkaiger's like he go against it and then his sword breaks, but because of that, we know that we're not gonna see that, because obviously you can't break your premiere date Megazord thing. It's just not allowed. But yeah, I generally thought this episode was okay. It wasn't one of the better ones. I feel like it was much better from last week's episode, so it's cool. Like, also one thing that I've seen is, I don't know what it is, but when you see certain footages of like say Flint and Zenkaiger, when you've got Ricky and Cortana or Cutler or whatever, I feel like they need to blend it in because it just looks completely out of place, and obviously like the actors aren't really reacting. So I think that they could have at least had maybe Flint or maybe Vox. Is it Vox or Sox? Vox actually holding Ricky or Cortana. I think that would have been a bit better for me. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's not really that much. Is it a good episode? Yeah, not one of the best, but I'm hoping that it kind of changes up quite quickly. And also Kaito changed his shirt. That was good. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this episode? Have you already seen it? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。 チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。